Hello, boys and girls. I am Miss Becky. Each week, I'll be here to share encouraging and uplifting stories with you, just the way Miss Kathy would have wanted us to. Gideon's shrinking army. The soldiers of Midian gathered a great army together, but this time the Israelites did not run away and hide. Gideon blew the war trumpet and sent messengers to gather fighters from all the Israelites who lived near. But Gideon was nervous. He got worried. Did God really want him to fight the Midianites? God, he prayed, show me again that you really are going to use me to rescue Israel. Show me a miracle. I'll put this wool cloth on the ground. In the morning, let this wool be wet with dew, but the ground be dry. Then I'll know that you are with me. The next morning, Gideon picked up the wool. It was so wet that he squished out the water into a bowl, and the ground around it was dry. God had answered his prayer. But Gideon was still worried. He thought, maybe wool always soaks up dew like that. He prayed again, God, show me one more time that you're going to use me to rescue your people. I'll put the wool cloth on the ground again. This time let it stay dry, and let the ground around it be wet with dew. In the morning, Gideon walked to the wool. The ground was wet. He picked up the wool, and it was dry. Finally, Gideon was sure that God was with him. So Gideon gathered all the men who had joined him to fight, 32,000 fighters. They marched toward the Midianite army. It was much bigger. There were more than 135,000 Midianite soldiers. Then God spoke to Gideon. You have too many men in your army. If you win this battle, the Israelites will think they rescued themselves. Tell all the men who are scared that they should go home. So Gideon told them, and when all the men who were afraid left, only 10,000 fighters stayed behind. Gideon started to worry again. Then God said, there are still too many men in your army. Lead them down to the stream and watch how they get a drink of water. Put the ones who kneel down to drink in one group. Put the ones who use their hands to bring the water up to their mouths in another group. Then send everyone in the first group home. So when the first group was gone, there were only 300 soldiers left. Now Gideon was really worried. That night God said, wake up, Gideon, and sneak down to the Midianite camp. If you're afraid, take your servant Purah. When you hear what they are saying, you won't worry anymore. You won't be afraid to attack them. So Gideon and Purah sneaked down to the valley where the Midianites were camped in their tents. There were so many tents and so many camels they couldn't count them all. When they were very close to the enemy camp, they heard two guards talking. I had a dream, one said. I dreamed that a round loaf of bread rolled right into our camp and hit the tent so hard that it fell down flat. Your dream was about Gideon, the other guard said. God is sending Gideon to defeat Midian and our whole army. When Gideon heard this, he wasn't worried anymore. He hurried back to his army and shouted, wake up! God has already won the battle for us. Then he told them his plan. We'll split into 3 groups. Each man will carry a trumpet and a jar with a lamp inside. When we get to the edge of the enemy camp, do what I do. The 3 groups of soldiers quietly sneaked to different sides of the Midianite camp and waited. Then, when Gideon blew his trumpet and smashed his jar, at the same time all of his soldiers blew their trumpets and smashed their jars. Then, with their lamps shining brightly, they shouted, a sword for God and for Gideon. Inside the camp, the Midianites woke up scared and confused. They heard the trumpets and saw all the lamps and were sure that Gideon's army was attacking. God confused them so much that they started fighting with each other and running away. Gideon's army didn't have to fight at all, but because Gideon trusted God, wonderful things happened, and the Midianites never bothered Israel again. The story you have heard today is from the Shoebox Kids Bible Stories, written by Jerry D. Thomas and used with permission from the Pacific Press Publishing Association. If you're interested in any other books published by the Seventh-day Adventist Church, please visit AdventistBookCenter.com or call 1-800-765-6955.
This podcast is a production of the Carolina Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.